Alright, so this is attaching a canvas and scaling the complex projects with curves and things like that. So what you need to do first of all is go to Insert and Attach Canvas. From there you'll be able to choose the file. So using this little icon here, open up your Finder window and you can scroll down until you can see I've got that screenshot there of the Adirondack chair plans, and they're the shapes that we want to develop. So I'll hit open, and again it'll ask me which plane do I want to drop that on. Now I'm going to just go the bottom, the top view there, so that bottom plane, and you can see it's dropped that into the file there. I can hit OK and go to my top view up here in the views, and you can see that's sitting on the page. It's very small at this stage, so we're going to zoom in on that. And there's a couple of measurements on here which I haven't converted yet to millimeters. Just be aware of that. That's 4 inches, that's 5 inches, and I've noticed that this one's actually incorrect here, 142. I'm going to need to fix that one up. So when you take your scale and calibrate it, make sure that you're going off one of these correct ones, either 750, 667 or 700 down here. What we need to do is rescale this so that we're working at a scale of 1 to 1, and the way that we do that is go into your canvases here. So that's turned on. You can see the light globe is on there, so that's showing on the page. Open that up and click on the canvas that you want to calibrate. Control click or right click and calibrate there. So that's bringing it into the right scale that we're to work with. It'll ask you, once you hit calibrate there, to choose what you want to calibrate. So if I click on that, whoops, I'll just undo that. Try that again. Calibrate. You'll have to pick 2 points to work between. So if I pick this one here, you can see 700. 700 is between this point and this point. Okay, these lines are showing that it's from the back of this armrest to the front of this armrest here. So I'm going to pick that point and that point. They're called witness lines, and we want to change that to 700. Hit enter. Okay, that's blown that well up, so we're going to now zoom out. We're working in the correct scale now, and we can start to trace those shapes out. So we'll have a go at doing this armrest here using a combination of the line tool and the spline tool. So up here under sketch, we're going to choose those various tools. This one here, I'm going to start with the line tool, and I'm going to work on my straight line section here. Now, as always, that's going to ask me what plane do I want to work on. Because I'm already looking at the top view there, if I click on that, that says, yeah, okay, good, we're working in the top plane. Close that dialog box, and we're just going to click. The more you're zoomed in, the more accurate it's going to be as well. Click on that point there. Now, the next section is a curve, so I could actually just drop in a series of straight lines and then use the fillet tool to curve those later. But I'm going to actually say stop sketch at the moment, and I'm going to choose the spline tool, and I'm going to make sure very, very carefully you've got to pick up that exact point. If we haven't and we get round to the other side, it won't enclose it as a solid object, which means you can't extrude it. So we've got to make sure that we do very specifically pick up that point there. And this here will allow us to zoom in a little bit more, allow us to work with some curves there. So I'm going to click on the corner there. You can see that's curved that around. And so long as it stays relatively on that line, we can go as long as you like. I think I'll probably be satisfied to put a click in there. Okay, that starts to deviate a little bit around that corner, so I'm going to stop and click there. If it starts to jump around a little bit like that, just zoom in, and that gives you a greater accuracy. Click there and click there. Alright, next section is a straight line, which you can see I can't get there with the spline tool around that corner. That would allow me to do a straight line in relation to this section there. But if I go around a corner, it wants to bend that around. So I'm going to stop the sketch there by clicking the tick, come up, get my straight line tool, and pick up that point there. Again, click the tick or hit enter. Come back to the spline tool. So we're using a combo of these different lines. And again, specify the first point right on that dot there. And we're going to start to move around that arc. We doing all right? Yeah. Okay. That section there. Click. Switching tools. Okay. We've got a straight section here, so we're going there and there. Click. Now this next section, the spline tool would be appropriate, but we can also use a tool called an arc here. Okay, arc. Different ways we can achieve it. I'm going to use the 3-point arc. That means we do 3 clicks and it bends around that section. So I'm going to pick one here, one in the middle, and one over here. Click. What's that giving me? No, that's not the one I want, is it? Undo that. There. Must be there. There. And then the middle. Okay, so we got the arc in there. Again, we'll go to that line tool. We've got a straight section here, and that's going to hopefully finish that off. Now, to finish, I'm going to go stop sketch, zoom out so I can see the whole thing, and just to check that it's actually an enclosed object, we want to go and turn that canvas off for a moment. Okay, and you can see that it's coloured in that shape, so it shows that I've clicked on the right spots, it's coloured it in. And so what I can do now is, I've pressed stop sketch, let's go to our home view, E for extrude, select the component, and the thickness you guys are working with the timber is 19 millimeters. Enter. There is the arm. We would save that as a component. Just to finally finish it off, we're going to go to modify. I'm going to say we want to fillet on this top edge here. So we'll select all of these sections. Let's just try to begin with a 5mm radius. That's looking pretty good to me. We want to curve that edge, make it nice and comfortable for those arms to sit on. Hit enter, and there's the arm, almost finished. Last couple of things that I'll do is go to modify, physical material. Want to change that to wood. You guys are using cypress pine, which we don't have in here. You could use one of these other pines which looks similar to cypress pine. You can play around with that there. And when you've finished that, we're going to go up to our bodies. We're going to call that one armrest, enter, and we're going to change, ooh, did that work? There we go. And we're going to control click or right click and create components from body. So we change the body to a component. There's our canvas sitting behind there, which we can switch off once you've achieved that. And there's the armrest. Any questions?